The story that we had heard, this goes back to 2022 when AOC says Capitol Police were opening the doors for J6 rioters. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I was shocked because I am no conspiracy theorist. But when AOC proudly informed all of us that J6 was an inside job, I was shocked. Of course, I reviewed the evidence, and as it turns out, at least on some circumstances, the police were posing with some of these insurrectionists, they call them, taking photos and opening, at least what I can see, interior doors. Not only the interior doors, but it was an instance where after doors had been opened, the police just stood next to the door and told the protesters, one guy says, I don't agree with it, but I respect it. These cops were absolutely assisting. Not to mention, one man was acquitted entirely because he argued that a cop waved him in. Sure enough, there is video footage of a cop waving people in. That they try to claim, no, the cop meant something else. He was waving to other cops to come in. Sure, I think AOC is correct. Let me play this video for you. You can hear it right from her, adamantly expressing 2 years ago exactly what happened.
Like Antifa?
And that there were actual officers working with this, and we never got to the bottom of that, and we never got any answers about that. And then to this day, we're just supposed to pretend that that never happened.
What about Antifa?
I have no idea what happened to the people on the inside who were very clearly sympathetic with what was going on and opening the doors wide open for that. And I'm supposed to sit here and pretend like none of that ever happened. And then right afterwards, you have a massive, you just have this idea that throwing money at that problem is going to make it go away without any accountability. And so this is where these things are breaking down. We're not safe. And it's not just about members of Congress not being safe. The food staff workers aren't safe. The janitors aren't safe. Like, we need to get to the bottom of this.
You see what she was saying? She was calling for an investigation. She wants answers as to the federal law enforcement elements that were actively assisting J6. Well, I agree, AOC. It sounds like an inside job. And I'm going to stress this, too, in all seriousness, outside of any tongue-in-cheek joke or something like that. If one police officer, just one, helped the rioters in any way, and we know they did, that's an inside job. Okay? What they're trying to do is when we say it was an inside job, they immediately jump to the claim that it means the government orchestrated the plot and made it all happen. No. Listen, if there is a bank, okay, this is what we said 2 years ago when we talked about this. If there's a bank and like 3 guys go to rob it and one security guard opens the door and puts a wedge in it and then walks away, we call that an inside job. Now, imagine if that happened and the police came in and said, looks like it was an inside job because this guy, who works here, opened the door for the robbers. And then immediately the media said, are you implying that the bank manager, along with all of its staff, coordinated with the police to steal the money? No, I didn't say that at all. I'm saying there was at least a certain or small element of internal security and law enforcement that assisted in this. It could be one person, but it's a fact. And now this just adds to it because FBI informants were actually riding in the building. So what does this mean? What does this ultimately turn into? I mean, Trump's going to pardon these guys. He said what in the first 9 minutes?
I hope he does.
That's what he said. First 20 minutes.
Well, I mean, I hope he does. I don't see any reason to keep these people behind bars anymore.
No, I don't either. What is it, like some 1,500 people almost? Something like that?
I don't have any. I honestly don't know. I know it's a lot, but I don't.
Large number,
Is it? I didn't know that it was over 1,000.
Oh, it's like substantially over 1,000, yeah.
It's
somewhere between like 1,300 and 1,500.
Yeah, it's like 1,300.
Yeah.
Trump said in the first 20 minutes, it's like the first thing he's going to do, he's going to just pardon.
Well, good. I mean, that should be the case. And the thing that really struck me is the way that the mainstream media or the legacy media or the Democrat-run media is framing this. They're saying that there were no FBI agents, that there were no employees, and they're obfuscating the fact that confidential informants don't actually work for the FBI. But there were confidential informants. So there were people that were working with the FBI, but they weren't FBI agents and they weren't employees. And the fact that the media is running with that and they're, again, obfuscating the fact that there were government assets in the crowd and those people were egging other people on to do things. It's clearly dishonest, and it's frustrating because you've got, this is going to be the narrative that the left is going to spin.
Let's take it up a notch, though. I got a question for you, Mike. We had the journalist Stephen Baker, I believe. I'm not getting his name wrong, am I? He was the one who was criminally charged.
Yeah, he sure was at the Blaze.
Yeah, he said he thinks this is actually a plot from the Pentagon, that they wanted the J6ers to riot, that they were hoping for some violence that they could ultimately use, and that if you look at the actions taken by the federal government since then, it only really makes sense if there actually was extreme violence. All we really got was basically trespass and some vandalism. And if you can even call it trespass on a lot of these cases, the people who broke the windows, that I get. You fight cops, you hit cops, you go to jail, that I get. But there was he and another guy I talked to said that one of the cops working at the Capitol Police evacuated the members of Congress. Had he not done that, they could have gotten hurt, might have been likely, and that he got in trouble for having done that because he was not given orders to evacuate. So it's his opinion that they wanted this to happen. They intentionally didn't bring police or National Guard because they needed an excuse to go after Trump. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.